Give the mic to Kelly because she has an incredibly impactful story. So, Kelly, please join me on stage.
That's me. Thank you. I would just like to start off by thanking Carrie and Amanda of Making Strides for this opportunity. You guys have been there for me. Like she mentioned, I've been a part of Making Strides for the past 3 years. I worked the financial tent because I was working at the bank, and we would count the deposits in, and it was such. It was so great to see. Like, we would always look at the different checks, like, where is this money coming from, who's donating, how much are they donating, what businesses do we know. I also want to thank my husband and my mother. They were there for me during my journey. They both took turns from taking off work to take me to chemo, and I wouldn't have been able to, didn't know how I would be able to get my treatments if it wasn't for you guys. So, thank you. As they mentioned, my name is Kelly, and on January 31st, 2018, I was diagnosed with stage 3 triple-negative breast cancer at 33 years old. Fear, anger, uncertainty were a few of the emotions that hit me hard. I even had a doctor tell me I could die from this. How could this have happened to me? Was it something I ate? Was it my job? Do I live too close to the power lines? I may never truly know. But let's back up a second. Let me take you on a journey. It was a Sunday morning. I go sit on my couch, and for some reason, I fold my arms. I never fold my arms. I feel a lump on my left breast. Impossible. I check myself every month. I check the right one, nothing. But the lump on the left breast is huge, like a golf ball. I immediately start crying and assuming the worst. I make an appointment the next day to see my OBGYN, Dr. Fischetti. At my OB appointment, she checks me, tells me it could be a benign fibroid, but let's just make sure, and sends me for a mammogram. Everybody told me it's gonna be fine, it's gonna be clear, don't worry, we don't have breast cancer in our family. I walk in feeling confident. I tell the woman at the desk my name. They look at me funny and ask me what I'm here for. A mammogram, I said. They look at each other and say to me, "But you're so young." I'm thinking, yeah, but here I am. I get called into the back, I put my gown on, and things start to get real. I'm trying to hold back tears, but to no avail, they break through. The tech tells me the doctor is reviewing the images and doesn't like what he sees. I start sweating. We take more images, and then I get moved to ultrasound. I meet the doctor. He starts talking to me about breast cancer. Oh, don't worry, if it's breast cancer, it's so treatable these days. And I'm thinking, there's no way it's breast cancer, this guy is crazy. So I look over at the screen and I see a big black mass. He tells me he wants to biopsy this thing in 2 days. So I go back, get it biopsied, then they tell me I'll know in 5 days what the result will be. I'm still feeling confident, but eager to hear the result. It's Wednesday. I end up missing my OB's phone call. She leaves me a message. She sounds happy. This is good. I call her back. I can sense she's trying to find the correct words to say. It came back positive. Huh? What do you mean? I said to her. You have a form of breast cancer, she says. Feeling confused, I say, I have breast cancer? She says, yes, and we need to get the ball rolling on this ASAP. I already made an appointment for a breast surgeon for you. I took some time to process this news, and being the millennial that I am, I decided to turn my Instagram into a blog. I'm writing and documenting every stage of this journey. The day comes to go meet the surgeon, Dr. Chang, and things quickly turn from bad to worse. She pulls up my scan and biopsy. She says it looks like stage 3, invasive ductal carcinoma, triple negative. Triple negative is a very aggressive cancer and has the lowest survival rating out of all breast cancers. Only 10% of all breast cancer cases are triple negative. I turn to my mother and we cry so hard. And my mother is no crier. Of course, I lost my spot, right? Dr. Chang continues to explain my cancer, and I cannot comprehend what she's saying. It feels like an out-of-body experience. Then I hear her say, there were 5 tumors with 5 lymph nodes affected. Feeling like my head is not attached to my body, I glance up and look at her screen. There's that black mass again, staring at me dead in the face. He needs a name. Larry. Larry the lump. All of a sudden, we get up and move to the next office. I meet the most amazing woman, Dr. Chang's nurse navigator, Cathay. Everyone, please give a round of applause for Cathay. Cathay has been a big part of my journey. She has got me through a lot of anxiety-filled days. One of the first things she's ever said to me was, yes, cancer is scary, but you can do cancer and you will do cancer, and at some point in this fight, you will find your silver lining. Her advice has always been spot on, from telling me when I can anticipate bad days from chemo to when I'd be tumor-free. Did I forget to mention that after 16 rounds of aggressive chemo, I'm a complete response? Thank you. Thank you. I wouldn't be standing here telling you this if it wasn't for my incredibly smart, funny, handsome oncologist, Dr. Seth Cohen. Dr. Cohen joined me in my fight 1 month after my diagnosis. I was in a dark place, feeling depressed, scared, unsure if I could beat this thing. Dr. Cohen has always been super confident that we were going to get rid of this thing. He explained I have an aggressive cancer, so I needed to be treated just as aggressively. He went over his treatment plan with me and how he was going to knock this out of the park. So I start chemo. I'm terrified. I would distract myself by blogging. I would take photos, Insta stories. I want to remember this fight. Somehow my stories start getting shared. I start getting more breast cancer fighters following me, messaging me, telling me I'm an inspiration to them. They want to give up but are pushing through because I am so strong. My story even gets shared on ABC7's Right This Minute. It hits me. I finally found my silver lining. We start my first chemo. Adriamycin Cytoxin, AKA the Red Devil. And boy, it was a tough one to get through. My nausea was so bad, I wanted to jump off the nearest bridge. I kicked and screamed before going to every chemo infusion. However, my chemo nurses were the absolute best. Shout out to Monmouth Medical South's infusion ward. I had so much fun with them. Well, until the Benadryl coma would kick in. We would laugh, argue if it was Laurel or Yanny, and sometimes I'd even surprise them with a different wig each week. But I really looked forward to the end of infusion. I got to see Dr. Cohen. Dr. Cohen made infusion better. He always started his meeting with a joke or a story, but my favorite was his random sarcastic comments. And when you're high on chemotherapy, you're not really entirely sure what he means, but I would just smile at him anyways. But don't get me wrong, he knew how to give tough love too. At my 11th infusion, my blood counts were way too low to receive chemo. In walks Dr. Cohen, giving me the side eye, yelling, "Oh, suck it up, Buttercup." Nevertheless, I started to look forward to infusion day just to see Dr. Cohen. And what do you know? My body starts fighting harder. Every week he'd ask me if I had any complaints. I really didn't have any. Dare I said chemo got easy? His positivity started rubbing off on me. I could do chemo all day. Before I knew it, chemo treatments were going by faster and faster. I'm stressing out. I tell my nurses, I don't want chemo to end. They laugh at me and say, okay, said no one ever. Chemo ending meant I wasn't going to see Cohen every Thursday, and I would have to move on to the second part of my journey, which takes me to where I currently am in my journey now. Anxiously awaiting my surgery, followed up by physical therapy and radiation. There's times when this breast cancer journey is almost over. I think this breast cancer journey is almost over and I need to go back to real life, and I'm terrified. Terrified because hospital visits, doctor's appointments, and scans have been my life for the past 8 months. Appointments with Dr. Cohen will go from weekly to every 3 months. That's not soon enough. What if something happens? What if I relapse? I don't like it, but I'll deal. I need to be strong. Strong for my family, strong for my readers, and strong for myself. Thank you.
Kelly, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to Kelly, and thank you to Mama Kelly for being here. Thank you. Survivors are truly at the heart of making strides against breast cancer. And at the American Cancer Society, we consider you a cancer survivor from the moment of diagnosis on.